Sangha.
I share screens. Where they goes?
Thank you.
What happened? I cannot see myself. Okay, I have to stop once. Sorry. Just got it first. Share screen is missing. Yeah. All mothers and beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and damnation. May they experience happiness, be separate from suffering, and save love, establish them in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, complete, precious Buddhahood. All mothers and beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and damnation. May they experience happiness, be separate from suffering, and save love, establish them in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, complete, precious Buddhahood. Dala Dangwar Zibe Da No Zibe Ge Tarba Dan Dam Jin Jimbe Barde Yobar Zeba Dam Je Je Zo Zebe Mananga Dan Yambe Zim Je Dam Je Dewa Dan Din Dungara Dan Dar Nyor De Lana Meba Yang Zobe Sanjo Rumbo Je Do Barza Da Sandra achieve enlightenment, perform virtues with the body, speech, and mind. Until death, I perform virtuous days with the body, speech, and mind. From now on this time tomorrow, I perform virtuous days with the body, speech, and the mind. We take refuge in the kind rule Lama and the lineage Lamas. We take refuge in all the exalted Buddhas. We take refuge in the perfect Dharma. We take refuge in the excellent order of the Sanghas. We take refuge in all the noble Dakas and Dakinis and the Dhammakadins, possessors of the eye of wisdom. Under I attain the heart of enlightenment. I take refuge in all the Buddhas. I take refuge in the Dharma and likewise in the example of the Bodhisattvas. As previous Buddhas embodied enlightenment and the progress on the Bodhisattva's path. Are true for the benefit of all sentient beings, giving birth to bodhicitta, and apply myself to complete the stage of the path. And the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha most excellent. I take refuge under enlightenment reach, by the merit of generosity and other good deeds. May I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all sentient beings. May all mothers sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separate from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. I bow down respectfully with my body, speech, and faithful mind to all Tathangatas in the 10 directions. Those who have already reached in the Tathagata state, those who are reaching it at the present, and those Tathagata state to come. Through the power of Samantha prayers, may all Buddhas manifest vividly in my mind. I prostrate to them, multiplying my body as many times as there are atoms of the earth. In each atom, I visualize as many Buddhas as there are atoms, surrounded by countless Bodhisattvas. Thus all space is filled with the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas. Praise all Buddhas through manifesting chanting, expressing the great ocean of the excellent qualities. To all Buddhas, I make offerings of arrows, pure flowers, flower garlands of music, anointing oils, manifesting like and fragrant incense. I make offering to the fan garment of form and the poor barrel, poured high as a moon meru, and orange in the most beautiful way. I visualize the highest and most extensive offerings and offer them with a great faith to all Buddhas. I prostrate to the Buddhas and make offering to them following the deeds of the great Bodhisattva Samantha. I confess to you, Buddhas, whatever negative actions I have committed due to the power of anger, desire, and ignorance. I rejoice in the merit of all the Buddhas and the 10 generations of the great Bodhisattvas and the Pakshika Buddhas, those who have attained Aharacha, those who have entered the path of Aharacha, and all other beings. I recourse to all great protectors and the Buddhas to turn the highest will of Dharma, as the light dispelling the darkness of beings in the 10 directions and leading them gradually to the enlightened state. I supplicate those Buddhas intend to pass into Parinirvana, to living long for as many eons as there are thrones of the earth, in order to all beings. Whatever merit I have gathered through postrations, offerings, confession, rejoicing, beseeching, and praying for the sake of enlightenment of all sentient beings, or this I dedicate. The Gurung is sprinkling with the sainted water and the strew with the flowers. It is adorned with the meadows, the spirit mountain, the four continents, and the sun and the moon. As the Buddha fair, I offer it. May all sentient beings attain the happiness of the Buddha fair. To the lamas who possess the Tirikayas, I offer altar, inner, and the sacred offerings with my body, word, and all that is visible. Please grant me the supreme realization and enlightenment. Whatever merit I have gathered through postrations, offerings, confession, rejoicing, beseeching, and praying, for the sake of the enlightenment of all sentient beings, all this I dedicate. Om Guru Namandra La Punza Manga Samandra Savar Samaya Ho. I call refuge on the name of the world. Your fame provides the thousand world. You are the way to Varjadara with Vador. I bow at the feet of Father and Jiti Sungu. Continue one but to you. Compassion one grant your blessings. Dispel darkness that surrounds my heart. Please bless me so that I can realize and liberate nature of mine. Please turn the way of the Dharma of the true workers and the combination according to this position, likewise the mental capacity of sentient beings. 32, page 32. long press to Majishri. His wisdom is brilliant like the sun, free of the clouds of two words, and perceive the various traits of knowledge in the true nature. For this reason, he holds the wisdom text at his heart. He has a compassion for beings who suffer from the darkness of ignorance in the prison of samsara, as father for only son. Like a thunderclap, he wakens those who are sleeping in ignorance and losing the charm of karma through the 60 branch of Haramana's speech. He wields the wisdom sword to cut the line, the settling of suffering, and to dispel the darkness of confusion. In the Bodhisattva form, he is pure from beginningless time, fully in completion in the 10 levels, and perfect in the body of all knowledge. I supplicate you, Majority, adorned by the 112 Son of Buddha, to dispel darkness of my ignorance. Om Wange Joremo, 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 Om Arapasa Nade, Om Arapasa Nade, Om Arapasa Nade, Om Arapasa Nade. Om Arapasa Nade, Om Arapasa Nade, Om Arapasa Nade. You who are the perfect youthful body, whose flame of wisdom blazes, and dispel darkness of all the ignorance, are prostrate before you and praise you, Manjushri. Tongge Doje Yaje Reason Dong Yin Je Mada Deje Bongjong Seje Lembo Tabara Jibe Ge Yaje Jarbe Jala Sorwan De Dorjen Chanchi Delo Naro Dang Marba Melai Jije Gambo Ba Pamo Ruba Jarwa Indigong Kaju Lama Namla Zorwan De Rome Jije Yanje Bodang Ne De Som Sanje Genje Ngon Sam Jiga Ngong Dong Zebe Zabe Lam Jala Zorwa Good morning, everyone. Hi. Good morning. Hey, good morning. Good morning.
The precious teacher.
Okay, ready? We have to wake up the mind. Waking the mind. Can you push this button there? Something there. Yeah. Okay. So now, stage of meditation, waking the mind. Stage meditation. So we finished all the hardest part. So now we are very easy, simple part. Effortless part. All the effort part is finished. Now we are in the effortless. So this stage meditation has 8 chapters. Introduction, mean body, conclusion. So we are in the mean body of the text. Mean body of the text has chapter 8. So we finish all the chapter 7. No, it's only last chapter. Or to meditate on the completion stage of the wisdom. Completion stage. Okay. So then yesterday we shared this completion stage is about the natural mind. We talk about how to meditate, rest in mind, and completely relax in mind is natural states. So then today we are in the how to maintaining this natural mind meditation practice. So how to maintaining is the page 122. There's nothing else to meditate on. No meditation outside of and apart from this. During the 4 daily activities, maintain your awareness without wavering. So during the daily activity, we always maintaining our own awareness. So without awareness, then we cannot really stay into the natural states, even we get convictions. So long as you have awareness, then always you have opportunity to meditate, practice, like stay in the natural states. So that's the high level yogis does. For beginners, usually we talk about meditation, post-meditation. So now we are actually in the meditation. When we're starting the prayer and until dedication, it's called meditation. So then finish, that's called post-meditation. Ordinary beings, when go into the meditation, then they stay in practice Dharma. But post-meditation, they forget everything. Forget the Dharma, that only thinking about worldly activities. So also, even like we are practicing in the meditation, we call in the meditation, but usually our mind is not always stay in the positive, connect with the spiritual practice of dharmas. Even you are in the right now, we say we are in the meditation, but your mind is follow the straight thoughts. So could be you have you know, this wavering thoughts, minds, follow the thoughts, and thinking about your yesterday, thinking about today, what I'm going to do after teaching, thinking about tonight dinner, thinking about tomorrow, yeah, and then think about yesterday, last week. So these tiny thoughts take you to all the way to then go to, you know, almost last life. Good thing is we don't remember last life. If you remember last life, then your minds go all the way to last life, previous life. So good thing we don't see the future life, then we don't cannot go the future life, but we just go so like next month, next year, thinking about when I'm going to retire after, so that kind of, you know, until die. So it's crazy mind, no easy to control. So that's the, see, it's a, mind is follow the thoughts, minds follow the emotions. Even we are in the meditation, but could be still, we cannot control the crazy mind, follow the thoughts. Generally called, when we practicing and after finish practice, that's called meditation. The meditation is generally word. So you chanting prayers, accumulate mantras, doing some postrations, whatever you're doing, activity, spiritual, and beginning to end is called in meditation. Then after you finish it, so you say, okay, I'm done today. Then that's called post meditation starting. That's the we usually practice it that way. Then some practitioners say going to 3 years retreat. So finish it 3 years, then come back to post meditation. So or forget the 3 years what they did, gone. So only then start with the post meditation. That's why Dharmakirta, Digong Dharmakirta, he said, if you are yogi, not only time limited, I mean the time limited. If you are yogi, you cannot have time limited. Like I am only 1 month retreat, 3 years retreat. So that is like not yogi practitioner. Yogi practitioner means, here says, see, during the 4 daily activities, maintain your awareness without wavering, always, 24 hours, maintain your awareness. So without distraction. That is called the yogi practitioner. Then that person is always in the meditation. Long as you have meditation, post-meditation, so still that person is not really high-level practitioner. It's good we say it's practitioner comparing to, everything is comparing. You know, you really cannot say that it's permanently inherently perfect one there. Everything is comparing. So first Primi Bodhisattva comparing to second Primi Bodhisattva, then first Primi Bodhisattva is not that great, right? First Primi Bodhisattva comparing to engaging Bodhisattva, then first Primi Bodhisattva is great, higher realization. They have realized absolute truth. See? So first Primi Bodhisattva comparing to 10th level Bodhisattva, then first Primi Bodhisattva is still stuck in the mundane states. So 10th Primi Bodhisattva is free from all the afflictive emotions. First Primi Bodhisattva still has a subtle obscurations. So everything is comparing. So that's why we are comparing to worldly people, someone never ever thinking about the spiritual, comparing to them, we are really great. Yeah, we have a Buddha lights, spiritual lights, not in the dark house. And then comparing to, of course, then these practitioners, then we are just beginner baby, born baby. Everything is depending mother, so cannot walk, cannot eat. So rely on everything for parents, mothers, all like that. Okay, everything is dependent. Then if you want a high realizer, it's always we have to maintain our awareness without distraction. So that's the meditators already used to habituate. Then very easy to go into the natural state. Really hard to go back to samsaric activities. So they are in used to that direction. Samsaric beings very easily go direction, samsara direction. That is easy. Just mind is naturally go to samsaric activity, worldly activity. We have to put effort to go into spiritual path. We do need to put effort to the samsara activity. So same as the water is falling down from the river. No one need to push down, just naturally falling down. So like that, our mind is follow the thoughts, emotion, samsara worldly activity naturally follow that direction because habituate already, used to that. This Dharma practitioner, meditators, is also the spiritual direction is used to habituate the naturally go that direction. That's why this is called completion stage, means effortless, no need to put effort. Yeah, you get in there, it's just naturally you're on there. They don't have to put effort. Long as you have effort, you are not high practitioner. So Bodhisattva levels, what the difference is? First Pimi Bodhisattva to 7 Pimi Bodhisattva has subtle effort. 8th Pimi Bodhisattva, 9th Pimi Bodhisattva, 10th Pimi Bodhisattva, no effort. Even no subtlest effort. Then Buddha is no separate post meditation and meditation. Always in the meditation state. So that's the difference is we are and no need to put effort anything about for samsaric activity. So during that time we are ordinary being. Bodhisattva could be equaled. First levels like first level Bodhisattvas, no first pimi, just maybe Bodhisattva who are on the path of accumulation merit, they could be equaled, like effort put and the spiritual effort put samsara kind of similar, no much difference. So in this one, we're talking about a completion stage, how to maintain that. Then we have to maintain it all the time, 24 hours. No time limited there, right? Unlimited time. So that's why you have to know you can practice anytime, always 24 hours. Within that state, whatever thoughts or emotions arise, simply recognize them. So we have to recognize thoughts, emotions. In this section is completion stage, not shamatha meditation. Shamatha meditation, when whatever thoughts, emotions arise, not recognize, stop them. You cannot let arise. And this one, no rejecting your thoughts, emotions. You don't have to reject your thoughts, emotions. Then what do you have to do? You just have to recognize. Yeah. And you see your enemies, you don't have to fight. You just recognize, who is that person? So then no arise anger. Same like that. Whatever thoughts, emotion arise, no try to stop. Let the thoughts arise, emotion arise. Just recognize. Recognize is most important. Our beginner meditators not recognize. When you meditate, and yesterday I shared with you the first, when you go in meditate very hard. We are very, in the one section meditation, you can be beginner, you can meditate, or you are really great meditator. So when you start and meditate, you are really beginner. Same as like yesterday we talked, river is following the, mountains, rocks. That kind of, mind is rushing thoughts, emotions, so strong, hard to stop. Then slowly calm down. Take little time, maybe at least 10 minutes. Then 20 minutes after, you can maybe go into river, Ganges River is reunion in the ocean like that way. So you could be go into nature states. Then during the meditation, when we meditate, thoughts, emotions always arise. So that's nothing bad. We need that actually. It's good higher practitioner, they really need thoughts, emotions. Beginners, it's better not. We cannot say need. Because we don't recognize. Long as you recognize thoughts, emotions, then not bad. But problem is we don't recognize thoughts, emotion when arise. And thoughts, emotion arise, like tiny thoughts take you to all the way daydreaming. You can be wasting whole your meditation, like hours can be wasting time. Maybe you cultivate emotions, not meditating. Yeah. You maybe lose like meditate because of your body posture is meditation posture, but mind is follow the daydreaming. So that is called cultivating samsara, not cultivating meditating. Yeah. Sometimes you just watch television or other things, you don't much thoughts because you forget. When you meditate, all thoughts comes. Then you think, oh, I have to do this, I have to do this, everything comes. So hard to stop. That's why people are very easy to watch the TV during meditation. Yeah, you go to meditate, you cultivating thoughts, you watch the TV, just you stop the thoughts. Yeah. So then that's why hard to meditate for beginners. That people say I cannot meditate because I have thoughts. I have thoughts. Actually, you have thoughts. That's why we have to meditate. If you don't have thoughts, you really don't have to meditate. Then your meditation is useless. So we have thoughts. We have to use the different method, according to our individual level, due to our constitutional, like depending day by day what you need method apply. We have to use that. Beginners like use shamatha. If first when you meditate, at least you use 10 minutes shamatha, try to stop the thoughts. At least calm down the mind. Then you go more deeper level in meditate. Don't try to stop the thoughts. Let arise. So just recognize thoughts, emotions, recognize. And this practice, meditation practice, thoughts, emotion, permanently, actually transforming. Watch TV is just temporarily stopped. That doesn't go away the problem. Problem is there. That's why people use the method is watch TV, listening music, dancing, something like activity or some sort of activities. They forget temporarily the problems. So that makes like fear is a little bit better, happy, and that's why they say I'm meditating. Then I say, how you meditate? I say, people say I'm listening music. When I meditate, listening music. Listening music is actually not meditating. Meditating means like introduce to thoughts and emotions. Listening music is just you forget the emotion and the thoughts, but not introduce to your emotion and the thoughts. So your emotion thoughts is always there. Yeah, your problems never ever go away. You watch the TV and listening music. It's there, but you just temporarily forget. Yes, no. We have to recognize thoughts comes recognize. Then it's a good level, higher level, not talking about the beginner level. So then who recognize thoughts, emotions are not bad. Thoughts, emotions are not bad. Thoughts, emotions become, great. Actually, thoughts, emotion is causes of wisdom become. We talk about emotion transform to wisdom. If you're going to create wisdom without thoughts, without emotions, you cannot create wisdom. Then how to create, thoughts, emotion, create wisdom, have to recognize first. Cannot be rejecting thoughts, emotions. If you're rejecting thoughts, emotions, then you stop the causes of wisdom. That's why we need thoughts, emotions for practitioner, good practitioners. So whatever thoughts or emotion arise, simply recognize them, then recognize and using the couple different method here, recognize, let go. That's also another way to meditators, thoughts, emotion, release. Or we can say liberate. Thoughts, emotion, you can liberate, let go away. Recognize, don't follow, let go. So thoughts, emotion arise, then you follow thoughts, emotion, then you fixation to that, you grasping fixation to that. That is a problem. That is create samsara. So thoughts, emotion arise, you recognize and let go and release, liberate. So that is the causes of nirvana, liberation. So depending how to you use the thoughts, emotions. That's why here say is recognize, simply recognize them. Then by doing so you doing that way meditate, you will naturally be cleared, like snowflakes falling into a lake. By substanding this over a longer period of time, eventually you will experience being naturally in this state without having to place your mind there. By doing so you use that method practice, then your thoughts, emotion, you will naturally be clear. The like snowflakes falling into a lake. Snowflakes falling into the beach. Snow cannot stuck there. Snow is just dissolved to the ocean, right? It's a lake is a you can think about ocean. So snow is falling into the ocean. Snow cannot accumulate there. So thoughts, emotions just dissolve to nature state. Think about the nature is ocean. Snow falling is the same as thoughts, emotions. As long as you recognize thoughts, emotions, so thoughts, emotions dissolve to the nature state. Same as snow is falling to the ocean. So beginner's mind is the same as the chord, the how to say the ground is like two chord is how to call frozen, yeah, frozen. So our mind, ordinary mind, is frozen, and then thoughts, emotion is the same as snow falling. So frozen earth, snow first falling to there, what happened? Accumulate, right? Yeah, so accumulate. Okay. Snow falling to the ocean, what happened? They can accumulate or no? No, right? Because it dissolved to the ocean. So that's the difference is meditators' thoughts, ordinary people's thoughts. So meditators' thoughts dissolve to nature. And ordinary people's thoughts, emotion accumulate. Our ordinary mind is frozen. So then thoughts, emotion can be accumulated negatively, can create samsara. Practitioner's mind is the same as ocean, so not frozen. Thoughts, emotion is transformed to the nature. By sustaining this over a long period, so that's have to use that practice, not just 1 day, 2 days. Talking about the usually meditators, what they say, I meditate. You know, how long? I meditate 2 hours, 1 hour, something. You know, they talk about the limited time, so I cannot stop thoughts. Yeah. Then that you usually people think you meditate 2-3 hours, just thinking about become Buddha. So that is you thinking is correct or no? Not right, because 2 hour, 3 hour meditation, you cannot be Buddha. So 2-3 hours of meditations, you cannot transform your thoughts. Then they say my meditation doesn't work because no effort, no enough effort, no enough patience. So sustaining, maintaining this practice, we need effort. We need patience. So why we need patience? Because on the meditation path, you have lots of obstacles too. You are on the journey, so your road is not always smooth. Yeah, so you have to sometimes like cross the high mountain. Sometimes you have to go down. Sometimes maybe no road is not like great. So you get different kind of situations, and it could be your car can break down. Could be road is like wash away the rains, snows stop. So not always the same situation. Weather can change. When you meditate along the path, you can get different kind source of the experience. So then if you don't have enough patience, you're going to be stopped. You cannot go through. So you need with patience, with joyful effort. So if you use that method, then by sustaining this over a long period of time, have to continue, keep going. Eventually, you will experience being natural in this state. Then you can really into nature state without having to place your mind there. This sustained meditation method is many times, short sections. That helps because your practice meditation, no wasting time. Sometimes people meditate, thoughts comes not recognized. So then you cultivating thoughts like 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, hours, or wasting time. So that's the reason beginner need short time. And then when you pause meditation, when you're going to stop the meditation, you always have to stop right time. What is right timing is you are really good in the state, feeling, connection, experience is great. Then you can do the pause meditation. So you have thoughts, oh, I cannot stop these thoughts. I cannot meditate. You stop that kind of situation use and stop meditation, you never ever go through difficulty, and you never get your meditation accomplishment successful, because you already use bad habitude. When you meditate, thoughts comes, emotion comes. When difficulty, you stop. Then you don't want to meditate. You lose the effort. Joyful effort is gone. So when you meditate, pause meditation, always stop timing is when you have good connection, feeling, experience. Then you stop, pause meditation. Your effort is there. Your joy is there. So you want to go back to again meditate. Think about it, if you go to a restaurant, if you don't get good food, next day you go back again, you don't get good food, you don't want to go to that restaurant. Then you also sharing others, like say, oh, this restaurant is really bad. Food is not good. Using your own, just, experience like 2 times, like you get no good food, right? So if you go there and you get really great food, service, everything is great, you enjoy, so you want to go back again. You get more better than that, then you telling other people, go that restaurant. So you always want to go that restaurant to eat. Same like that way, when you meditate, post meditation, always you have to stop good feeling, connections, and go back to again meditate. So that's give you more effort. Meditation is not easy to explain here. Means like just we don't have much words to explain. Yesterday we talked, but this maintaining is the hardest part. We don't know how to maintain when we have obstacles, experience. We don't know how to go through that levels, section or level. We stuck there. Sometimes people stuck with the obstacles. Sometimes people stuck with the experience. So that's why when you meditate, especially this generation's completion stage, you need a guide. So sometimes we think our meditation is great, but maybe not great. So we stuck some just, some sarek desire object. Means like kind of some good feeling, you can be stuck there. So how do you go through that level? That's why we need to use the teacher and the teaching. Follow this section. Next here, then even in the 4 daily activities, yesterday we talked that 4 daily activities, you will be in a state of ever increasing like awareness of clarity and emptiness, no door. So you use this maintaining, sustaining this over a long period of time, then your practice has become increasing. Also, eventually you will experience being naturally in this state, like just your mind naturally go into natural states because you already used to habituate in that level. If you sustain in this over time practice again and again, without having to place your mind there, so you don't, this is like you get experience, then you use this 4 daily activity, you will be in a state of ever increasing like awareness of clarity and emptiness, no door. So that is the natural mind. Natural mind is empty. Natural mind is no dualistic. non-dual. Natural mind is clarity. Natural mind is awareness. Natural mind is naked. So that's all. It's different ways to explain natural mind. That section is so how to maintaining, also introduce natural mind and how to maintaining that practice. The practice of maintaining, recognize, and then second one here is also liberating. So thoughts, emotion, not only recognize, have to liberate. Liberating is here. This Mahamudra Dzogchen or has this maintaining, when you meditate, maintaining instruction, how to maintaining. They use the three kind of like method. The first one is recognize. So we have to recognize. If you go to the big city, you can see 100 people. Maybe no one you knows. Yeah, like that. You have 100,000 thoughts, emotion comes. You don't recognize anything. So recognize means like when you see the person right away, you recognize that person. Who's that name? Then you know all the characteristics, everything clearly come to your mind. Like that kind of way, when thoughts come to you, right away recognize. So we have to recognize. Long as recognize, then thoughts, emotions, no problem. So you can liberate. How to liberate here? To introduce thoughts as Dharmakaya. So we have to introduce thoughts as Dharmakaya. Thoughts Dharmakaya. So has this one has also kind of controversial words. In the philosophers, controversial words like debating, disagreed. Thoughts Dharmakaya. So thoughts cannot be Dharmakaya, but you really see the thoughts, recognize, then Dharmakaya. So thoughts Dharmakaya, then everyone beings already liberated. No one in samsara, cannot be anyone be in samsara, because all thoughts is Dharmakaya. All sentient beings have thoughts. So the thoughts cannot be Dharmakaya, but long as you recognize thoughts, then it can be Dharmakaya. How to recognize thoughts, then here is explained. Introduce thoughts as Dharmakaya. When mind is let go, relaxing its natural state. So meditate. We meditate, then look directly into the essence of mind itself. When we meditate, we have to look into natural mind, not looking to object. If you look into the object, that is called dualistic. So look means not this eye going to looking, okay? You can be misunderstood. This eye cannot never ever see natural mind. This is a samsara eye, not just the wisdom eye. So even you close your this eye, still you can, if you know how to recognize nature, you can see natural mind. Not depend on anything in this ordinary eye. So we need wisdom to see the natural mind. Yes, that's why here say when mind is relaxed in natural state, look directly. So means your awareness, mindful, have to look into natural mind, not this eye looking into natural mind. Look to natural mind means sometimes people look like this, they're looking to themselves. Then they're opening the eyes more bigger. That is incorrect. That's called dualistic looking. This is a non-dual looking. Non-dual look is mindful awareness have to look to nature mind. Look directly into the essence of mind itself. So awareness, mindful looking into your mind nature. Then actually awareness, your mindful is mind. That's why it's mind looking into mind. But nature is not separate, but different aspects. Different aspects. Okay, sun and sun reading, light, sun reading, sun heat. It's a sun or not? It's also or it's a sun. But we can say sun reading, sun heat is sun and sun heat is, different aspects. But actually there all is the sun. We don't have two minds. One mind looking to another mind. But we have only one mind. That mind has different kind of aspects. So mind for awareness aspect, looking into the essence and the nature. That's why they don't have a really subject and object. Long as you have a subject, object is called dualistic. It's not no draw. So use this eye. Our mind is like always stuck with the object. Never ever seeing their own. Never ever seeing their own mind, recognizing that mind always looking to the art. So meditation means look into their own. That's why the turn off all this object. So we have to shut down all the object. And looking into mind means mind looking to a mind. Then what you recognize is this open, mind is open. So yesterday we talked like same as the sky, vivid, present, it's there. But space is like say open is empty, right? Then mind is vivid, present, with awareness, color, and without thoughts. So mind didn't have a thoughts. True nature mind, no thoughts. So space, no cloud. The cloud is obstacle on the space. It's temporary. Not the space. Nature is the cloud is not nature of the space. Sky is clear, open, vivid, and so mind, thoughts, emotion is temporary obstacle, and the not is mind nature. So mind nature is no nothingness, is present, always there. Awareness, clear, and without thoughts. So you are resting in this nature. So when you meditate, means you have to rest in this nature. Then whatever thoughts surface, then when your thought comes, look directly into the essence of the thought. So we have to look directly to the thoughts. Why? Because thoughts are transforming to Dharmakaya. So that's why we have to look directly to the thoughts. First, you have to recognize, otherwise you cannot look directly to the thoughts. Long as you recognize you have a thought, then you are you can directly into look directly into the essence of the thoughts. So essence of thoughts, the thoughts, essence of thoughts, essence of emotions. This is you can follow both. You are resting in this nature, whatever thoughts, whatever emotion surface arise, look directly into the essence of the thoughts and the emotions. Then meditate as before and gain conviction. So you look directly use awareness, mindful, directly look to the thoughts itself is not exist. Thought itself is emptiness. Emotion also it itself is emptiness. So that is called Dharmakaya, not negative thoughts is Dharmakaya. Ordinary person, thoughts, emotion is negative. Same is like fruits grown. We talked already, fruits grown, snow falling, it's accumulate. So same like that, it's thoughts, emotion create the negative. Then thoughts is Dharmakaya means snow is falling into the ocean, is dissolved to the ocean. So that is called thoughts is Dharmakaya. Then how to do that? Because when thoughts, emotion arise, we recognize, same time, you have to look directly to the thoughts and emotions. Then that thoughts, emotion is not inherently permanently exist. It's emptiness. So thoughts, emotions become object of meditation. They're supporting our meditation. That is means liberating. See, snow is falling to the ocean is liberate, cannot accumulate. And meditators' thoughts, emotions transform to the Dharmakaya. Look directly into the essence of the thoughts, meditate on us before and gain conviction. If you use that method, then you will become practices, gain conviction is strong and strong. So thoughts, emotions become causes of wisdom. And who can use that method? Then that person need thoughts, emotions. Who can use this thoughts, emotion, transform to Dharmakaya. If who cannot do that, then thoughts, emotion is negative. We don't need. So thoughts, emotions can create causes of samsara. They meditate as before and gain conviction. These very thoughts that are unceasing are nakedly present. See, the thoughts you look directly that are unceasing are nakedly present. It's present, color, and emptiness. It's emptiness, no exist. Their thoughts, emotions, no exist. So then no exist is emptiness. Consider, for example, the waves that rise and fall on the surface of the ocean. They are the ocean. There are no ocean, waves apart from the ocean. So this is an example. The waves arise from the ocean, but then they are not separate from the ocean. They dissolve back to the ocean. Wave is dissolved back to the ocean. Thoughts, emotion arise, the mind then dissolve back to in the natural state. And long as you can do that, maintaining practice is thoughts transform to Dharmakaya, thoughts liberate to Dharmakaya, emotion is transformed to the wisdom. There is no ocean, there are no ocean waves apart from the ocean. There is no ocean outside of or apart from the waves. So wave is ocean, ocean is wave. Wave is dissolved to the ocean. Ocean is no other than wave. Wave is no other than ocean. Thoughts is transformed into the natural state. So the thoughts is not separate than nature's Dharmakaya. Apart from it is just like that from the space of clarity and emptiness. thoughts arise, but these thoughts are indivisible with the clarity and emptiness. When thoughts arise, where is thoughts arise? From the space of clarity and emptiness. Thoughts arise, but these thoughts are indivisible with the clarity and emptiness. His thoughts is color and emptiness. Thoughts is not separate from the Dharmakaya. When you look into the essence of thoughts, there is nothing to apprehend. Then you can look closely the thoughts. Thoughts didn't have any essence. Means not permanently inherently exist there. Or it's just arise, it's not exist, empty. That's why we can transform thoughts as Dharmakaya. If thoughts is exist, then you cannot transform. Thoughts cannot be Dharmakaya. Thoughts is not exist. That's why we can transform, and the thoughts can be Dharmakaya. When you look into essence of the thoughts, there is nothing to apprehend. Where is the thought located? Then you also, when you meditate, you can analyze where is the thought is located. Thought is located with your forehead, on your crown, or your ears, your eye, or your nose, your heart, or where is like hang, or all the way your body, part of body. You can analyze where is the thought located. So you analyze that way, you cannot find the thoughts any place located because the thoughts is not exist. If thoughts is exist, then somewhere must be exist. Could be exist in your forehead, or maybe in the nose, with nose, or maybe with eye or ears somewhere else. So you analyze, thoughts cannot find because no place located. That means thoughts is not exist. The thought itself is non-conceptual. Then you see the thought is emptiness, is transformed, liberated thoughts. That's why it's called the thoughts is empty and Dharmakaya, non-conceptual. This makes your heart filled with joy and wonder. So then namto tega nizome par kanela tomi nesana. So the thoughts itself is non-conceptual. Use that meditate. This makes your heart filled with joy and wonder. So use that, like thoughts is transformed Dharmakaya, and you see the thoughts is not exist, cannot apprehend, nothing to apprehend. So when you use that metta meditate, then makes your heart filled with joy and wonder. So your mind is like, when you meditate, your own experience is like joyful, heart filled with joy and wonder. So thoughts release, and thoughts is liberate. So when you practice use that, then your mind become really come into the naked, pure. So during that time, then you get experience, your own experience, like joy, because used to your mind is always controlled by thoughts and emotions. No, you really make separate. Thoughts, emotion is take out, and they cannot control your mind, and then mind comes into nature, and that's why you have this, I think, joy, with joy and wonder. That's it's a more experience, your own experience. There are negative thoughts does not need to be rejected or read from your mind. If you can use that method, thoughts, emotion, transform dharmakaya, then you don't need negative thoughts, does not need to be rejected or get rid of from your mind. Our beginners, we must negative thoughts need to reject, get rid of from our mind. But you are used to in the meditation, your practice has become strong and your mind is kind of like into the nature, is going into naturally that state. Then you don't need to reject your thoughts and emotions. You don't need to get rid of thoughts, emotions. So we have to use and the thoughts, emotion, create wisdom. It's always up to individual level, dependent. So thoughts is negative or thoughts is positive is depending individual. Beginners thoughts is negative. That's why all samsara brings samsara. Why? Because thoughts, emotions are negative. Then Buddha is enlightened. Why? Because thoughts, emotions are positive. The create wisdom, thoughts, emotions, they create wisdom. That's why they're enlightened. Samsara beings stuck in samsara, thoughts, emotions, negative, thoughts, emotions controlled. So that's the reason we have to reject the thoughts, emotions. We have to get rid of from our mind, thoughts, emotions. When you are become practitioner, then negative thoughts does not need to be rejected or read from your mind. You have to use that. So you don't have to throw the garbage. You have to use the garbage to recycling energy. Yeah, it's all the plastics things like put into your nature, like environment is destroy everything. So use that garbage is recycling, and then that not affected anything nature, environment. So long as you use your thoughts, emotions for create a causes of wisdom, then we don't need to reject it, get rid of from your mind. You need not try to find some wisdom to contract the negative thoughts. So this negative, negative thoughts, emotions, the same as the human beings pop. Human beings pop is like really bad, but if you can use it really correctly, so you can make something very special object. Also, if you want to grow the organic food, you need human beings pop. Okay, yes, pop and animals pop. So that is the source of the great for earth, good for the growing the organic food, organic, right? Organic food, yeah. No any chemical there. So plastic is chemical, right? Yeah, plastic put in the your garden is terrible, right? I mean the garden or like your nature environment is destroyed. Plastic go into the oceans. This plastic is a chemical, right? Mm-hmm. This chemical things go in the oceans. Animals also die. So fish also die. Many beings die. Some, come from the human beings pop and the animals pops. They go to the ocean. They never care any animals. They're good for the soya. True, yes. It's good for the land environment. In Tibet, we when the farmers have to work in the farm, they need yards pop and animals pee and animals pops. Otherwise, they cannot grow the barley. So they bring the in this time, like autumn, when they already crops it take into the home and then the animal all put in the farm. So the animals stay in the farm and eat grass, and then they put the pea and the poles, and there then that's used. Next year you get good crop, organic food. So that's the method. It's the same here. It's usually, of course, like human beings pose really bad, terrible, smell. We cannot be with that. Same like that. Ordinary people cannot be with the thoughts, emotions. But if you know how to use that, it's great. It's never harm anyone, so it's great. No chemical. Same exactly like that. So here is the practitioners using this negative energy is using to the positive and growing the practice their own practice, and the use that they get realized. If you don't use that, you cannot realize actually. The high level goes up higher level, then turn to the higher level is like emotion have to use and create wisdom. So you need not try to find some wisdom to contract the negative thought. That time then you don't need to find a solution for negativity. If you anger arise, you cultivate love and compassion. So you looking solution. Then you don't use anger. You get rid of anger. So then you lose mirror lake of Dharmakaya. I mean the mirror lake of wisdom. You don't have mirror like wisdom. You get rid of mirror like wisdom. So you don't want mirror like wisdom get rid of, right? If you don't have a mirror like wisdom, then you cannot be Buddha. Buddha means must have to have five wisdoms. So Dharma Dharma wisdom, mirror like wisdom, then wisdom of equanimity, wisdom of is what is called the discernment or discernment, wisdom of accomplishment wisdom. Accomplishment wisdom. This five wisdom is arise from the five afflictive emotions. So you get rid of your anger. Mirror like wisdom is you get rid of. You get rid of ignorant. You get rid of dharma dharma wisdom. So you get rid of attachment, desire. You get rid of discernment wisdom. Discernment wisdom, I think. So that's why here, high level practitioners, no rejected emotions. If you realize, say, you need not try to find some wisdom to contract the negative thought. No need to find the negative something opposite of the negative thought. And this is talking about a completion stage, not talking about the love meditation, compassion meditation with sharing here, shamatha meditation, not talking about the vipassana meditation, not talking about the generation stages. Here is we're talking about the completion stage. So we already right now is independent. So when you become independent, you cannot rely on anything, right? You cannot rely on your parents. So same like that. Otherwise, you say like when you are kids, you cannot rely on parents. That is incorrect. When you are in your mother's womb, you cannot say you cannot rely on mother. Yeah. When you are become born baby, you cannot say you cannot rely on parents. So now here is this teaching is like completion stage is talking about independent already. So we cannot rely on anyone. And we have completely permanently freedom. So not dependent anyone. If you long as you dependent someone, then you same is like here is when we have these negative thoughts, we have to find a solution for opposite of the negativity. So here is independent, not dependent. That means you cannot rely on anyone. So you cannot find any solution for your negativity. You have to use negativity, create a dharmakaya. Whatever is holding you, you need not try to find some wisdom to contract the negative thought. Whatever is holding you down, if you realize this extraordinary path, so see you have to recognize whatever is holding you down means maybe anger control you, maybe desire, attachment control you. So you recognize that and look to the anger. Then you have to realize anger is not exist. So anger is not exist. Anger is itself is emptiness. You realize that, then this is called extraordinary path. Here talking about extraordinary path, right? Not talking about just a path. Extraordinary path is totally different method. In which simply recognize, so you have to recognize whatever arises. Whatever arises means thought, emotion, whatever arises, you have to recognize. Enables it to naturally release. Naturally release means anger arises, you look to the anger. Anger is empty, no exist. Then anger release you. So this is the very powerful practice. Very powerful, but very hard to apply. Very hard to apply this method. If you can, anger is great. You know, desire is great. If you can apply this method. So if you cannot apply this method, anger is terrible. Desire, ignorance, attachment, pride, jealousy is terrible. They control us. They put down in samsara us. They torture us. Yeah. So if you can apply this method, they are great. We need anger, we need desire, we need ignorance, we need attachment. So we use that, create wisdom. Think about, usually anger can arise, we don't recognize. We always say this problem, that we pointing others' problem, not my problem. So we don't recognize my anger, and we don't want to look to my problem, right? We always pointing others' problem. So that means we don't recognize we have anger. We don't want anger is released from our mind. We wanted to create anger ourselves because we like to pointing problem for others. So that means like we protecting our emotions. We protecting our emotion. We create our emotions. That's generally people, ordinary people, everyone does like that. We create our emotion. We're protecting our emotions. We don't want to get rid of our emotions. So emotions protecting each other because we have a pride. So we have pride. We say, oh, I have anger. My anger is terrible. So then you think, oh, my other people think, oh, I'm not strong. We get shy, and then we think something wrong for myself. So this anger, pride, jealousy, the ignorance, they're helping each other, protecting each other, they support each other. So that's why we don't want to recognize, actually, usually. Emotion, thoughts, we don't want to recognize. We want that. We want to, we create that. So that's why this, we are in samsara. Samsara means in samsara. First, see, recognize means no puncturing problem for others. Yeah, recognize is supporting each other. Pride, like you have anger, like no support your pride. Oh, I have anger. Like you recognize I have anger. Then you only take these five afflictive emotions, like support each other. So you take one from that anger. You take away from the other, the group of five. You take anger from them. You recognize anger. Then you look to anger. Where is anger? No, you really can use anger. Like you look to the anger means like anger is like using positively. You look into anger and you investigate anger. Then investigate anger. Anger itself is not exist. It's impermanent. Anger is naturally dissolved. The same as the snow is falling into the ocean. They cannot accumulate together, in the frozen ground. So anger lost control. So anger cannot control us. That means we really release anger and transform anger wisdom, because we see anger is not exist, it's emptiness. That wisdom is called mirror-like wisdom. So anger is gone, right? You liberate anger. The other four is not stable, they're all shaking. Yeah. If you have 5 pillars in the house, you destroy one pillar, and then other is like house is not stable become. So usually the 5 pillars support each other. So now you destroy one pillar, and then other pillar is not stable. House is not stable. So then you one by one have to take out. When desire arises, so have to look to again desire. Desire itself is emptiness. Then no exist. The desire is transformed. It's discernment of what is the wisdom of discernment. Then same is like ignorant, look to ignorant. You investigate ignorant again. Ignorance no exist. It's emptiness. So that wisdom is called Dharma Dharma wisdom. All this wisdom is essence is Dharma Dharma wisdom. All the emotion is based on the ignorance. Long as you get rid of ignorant, other emotions naturally gone. Long as you have realized Dharma Dharma wisdom, is other wisdoms naturally arise. So this form body has 5 faculties. This 5 faculties is based on the body faculty. Long as you remove body faculty, eye faculty, nose faculty, and air faculty is all gone. Everything is based on the body's faculty. So same like that, all these 5 afflictive emotions based on the ignorance. Long as we get rid of ignorance, other emotions gone. So we talk about the 5 pillars. Most important pillar, maybe center one. So center is a club. The other just the house is going to club. Okay, this my prayer also gone. He's showing the example. Prayer also Dharma teaching. So I'm talk and he demonstration. My prayer show the demonstration, right? Yeah, it's great. Okay, so that's why when we meditate, actually, when emotion arises, at that time you really meditate is powerful. But very hard to do that because we don't want to accept that first. So we think I'm losing something, you know. Actually, we nothing losing, but due to the emotion, we losing something we don't want to accept. Recognize, and then you know you have to use this method, apply. The easily recognize anger is more easy recognize. Ignorance is hard to recognize. So anger is there's a very strong negativity, but not that is the problem to get rid of, comparing to ignorance. Anger is strong negativity, but easy to recognize. The good is we recognize. So when anger arises, like you know, you recognize like your body is shaking, your mind is like moving, and you feel so strong, something energy, right, yourself. So then that time, don't do any actions. Like long as you recognize, you look to your mind. Where is anger? So you rest in mind and look to the anger. Anger is just energy, right? Kind of like air. That you're really watching that is no exist. You don't need to get rid of anything. You don't have to apply anything. Just looking that and like anger is no exist. You see that is your mind go into natural states. Then your become your mind and the body is feeling is different. You get a different experience. So without anger, you don't get that experience. When you anger arises, you use that method. It's really get different experience yourself. And take little time, so you need patience and harder to look to anger, because when you anger arises, you know, you cannot really control yourself due to our already habituate. Anger control us many lifetimes. So many lifetimes anger control us. Beginning last time until no. So no, you not control anger. You really destroying anger. It's no easy, right? So no using any method, just let them destroy themselves. So that is means like transforming means let them to destroy themselves. You don't use anything. You don't use a hammer, you don't use a knife. So that's why you wisdom watching, look, it's hard. Anger controls so many lifetimes us, so hard to do that. If you can, you look to essence of anger or stay in the nature, watching your feeling, and that is empty, no exist. And then that anger is create Dharma Dharma wisdom. So that anger is the source of wisdom. Without that practice, then you cannot like anger transform to Dharmakaya. Without anger, we cannot do. So that times anger is useful. Anger is a cause of wisdom. We need that. Then exactly same, other emotions, same method. You don't have to get rid of. So which one arise, you recognize, look to the emotion, desire or pride or jealousy, whatever arise. Pride is very hard to recognize. Pride is like not that kind of strong negativity, but very hard to recognize. Pride is. Anger is a strong negativity, but easy to recognize. So pride is difficult to recognize, especially subtle level pride, many different kind of pride. Oh, I have this, he don't have. I know this, he don't know that. That's always a pride. So we have to use this method. What time is? Still have to go. Yeah. If you realize this extraordinary path, in which simply recognizing whatever arises enables it to naturally release on its own. So naturally release its own on its own. See, naturally the anger destroy their own. We don't need to destroy anger. The emotion let them destroy themselves. So usually emotion destroy us. We are endless suffering in samsara. No, use this extraordinary path. Let them destroy themselves. So then when you will become a Buddha in one lifetime, if you use that method, there's no questions. You can be one lifetime become Buddha. So Buddha, one lifetime we can be Buddha or not, it's up to in this path. If you use extraordinary this path, one lifetime we have become Buddha. It's no questions because see, fire afflictive emotions transform wisdom, then why we are not become Buddha? Who going to stop us? No one can stop us then. Yeah. This is easy. You don't need to get any like kind of a certificate. You are become Buddha. No one have to approve it. You don't need a background, anything like someone, is behind door or someone, like go to ask, please, can you approve me I'm Buddha, or not? Can you give me a certificate like that kind of nothing rely on anyone. Yeah. So enlightenment is not up to anyone. Okay, so we have to use this extraordinary path in which recognize whatever arises able to it to naturally release on its own. Then you will become Buddha in one lifetime. If a strong desire emotion arises, do not follow after it or get lost in it. And see, strong. So now this is one example here sharing. How to, this emotion is create wisdom. This is one example here. Emotion create wisdom. If strong desire emotion arises, do not follow after it or get lost in it. Usually desire arises, we follow that. We don't want to stop actually, because due to desire's power, we don't want to stop. So then that means we like to follow the desire. Yeah. So same is, elephant like to go to the mud and they like to hang out there. Then they're stuck, they die, but still they like to do that. Fish get caught by the, attached desire, attached to taste. then the hawk. So human beings, you know, we know desire is a problem, but we don't want to stop actually. We like desire. We mouth says bad, desire is bad. But mind is really like desire. It's, you know, saying words and doing action is different. So we said better things, many things in the samsara, then mind really like that. You know, body want that, but mouth says always negative. So we don't want to stop. But here say, don't follow me, so we have to stop. Don't follow them. It is strong desire, emotion, arise, do not follow after it or get lost in it. So we cannot lost with the samsara desire, negative, the emotions. Instead, then what we have to do, look directly into the essence of that desire. So, and rest your mind there without wavering. That is the meditation. Desire arises, just don't follow. Recognize, log to desire. Desire is not exist there. It is have its emptiness. It's called actually it is have is liberating. The desire nature is dharmakaya because it's not exist. It is have its emptiness. Then we have to rest your mind. We have to meditate, rest the mind. Just, you know, like you say, oh, I have desire. That doesn't go away your desire. So you see that you have desire, you have to rest in your mind. Then there without wavering, when desire arises, then what happens is desire is rise. It is rootless and groundless. You have your wisdom have to see that, recognize that. Desire itself is rootless and groundless. There's no not rejecting desire. So you don't have to rejecting desire. Just have to look to the true. The essence of desire. Essence of desire is emptiness. Because that desire is not inherently exist. It's rootless and groundless. So you see the desire is emptiness then. There is no as not rejecting desire, but rather as despair purified. Then the desire is naturally released on. So I just told you, like, no, we don't have to destroy desire. They destroy themselves. They release their own nature. Desire, but rather as despair purified into its own nature. Then desire liberated into its own ground. So that is called desire is liberated its own ground. That it itself is discriminating wisdom. Discriminating or disarming wisdom. Sometimes there's a disarming wisdom. Here it says discriminating wisdom. I think it's the same, right? Discriminating wisdom, disarming wisdom. Okay, it's the same, yeah. That it itself is Buddha Amitabha. So now we talk about the 5 Buddhas. So 5 Buddha, form bodies 5 Buddha, essence of 5 wisdom, source is 5 afflictive emotions. So without the 5 afflictive emotions, you don't have a source 5 wisdom. Without the 5 wisdom, where is the 5 Buddhas? So This is the true highest level teaching, and the Buddha is all sentient beings is a Buddha because every being has a source of wisdom. Wisdom is a Buddha. Then here is see that that's desire transform, desire liberate is Buddha Amitabha. So in this it itself is Buddha Amitabha. In the same way, at the rise of the five emotional poisons. So here is a thing about like five poisons are you have to know five poisons. First one is desire, aversion, ignorance, pride, and jealousy. That's called five afflictive emotions. Then we talk about five Buddhas are the five Buddha family. So there's talk about the five Buddha families. First one is a Verochana Buddha family. Second one is called Akhyobhya Vajjara family. Third one is called Rina Sambhava Rina family. Fourth one is Amitabha Pema family. Number five is Amongasiddha Karma family. So that's the five Buddhas. The central Buddha is a Verochana Buddha family. East Buddha is a Akhyobhya Vajjara family. South Buddha is a Rina Sambhava Rina family. The west is Amitabha Pema family, and the north is Amongasiddha Karma family. So then this is associated five wisdoms. You know, these five Buddhas associated with the five Buddhas. Verochana Buddha family is associated ignorance, emotions, ignorance. Wisdom is Dharma wisdom. Akhyobhya Vajjara family is emotions, anger. Wisdom is mirror-like wisdom. Rina Sambhava Rina family is emotions. I think it's a pride. Could be jealousy. Maybe jealousy. Could be pride or jealous. I don't remember that exactly. Either one. This Rina family. So wisdom is discriminating wisdom. I think discriminating, not discriminating. It's wisdom is called the what do they call the another one?
Equanimity.
Yes, equanimity wisdom. Wisdom of equanimity. Wisdom. So then Pema-san, the West Buddha is Amitabha, Pema family, associated with the emotion is a desire. The wisdom is, we already talked here, discernment or discriminating wisdom. Then Amongasiddha Karma family is North Buddha. So associated with maybe pride, I think, jealousy or pride, either one. I think this thought is in the north, I don't remember exactly, but pride and the jealousy, either one. So that wisdom is accomplishment wisdom among us, see the Buddha. So here, so now we have already talked Buddha Amitabha more detail. So desire arises and rest your mind, then without wavering. So when desire arises, it is rootless and groundless. This is the known as to rejecting desire, but rather as desire purify into its own nature, desire liberate its own ground, itself is discriminating wisdom, that is self Buddha Amitabha. The same is exactly followed there, the arising of the five afflictive emotional poisons. Anger arise, so very strong anger arise. Do not follow after that. Anger and that anger and rest your mind, so there without wavering. Then when anger arises, it is rootless and groundless. So that is known as not rejecting anger, but rather as despair purified. Its own nature. Anger liberates its own ground. So then that itself is mirror like wisdom. That itself is Buddha Achobhya or Vajrasattva. So that's the it's other five Buddhas follow by this idea, same thing. So we five afflictive emotions transform to the five wisdom, five Buddhas. Do not follow after or indulge in them, but look into the essence and rest there. By doing so, the emotion and the thoughts are pure in their own ground, are naturally free in their own nature. So if you use this practice, maintaining and habituating continually, you practice that, then emotion thoughts are pure. So they are pure is their emptiness in their own ground, are naturally free. So they naturally you free from these afflictive emotions in this own nature. They arise, but they are rootless. The emotion thoughts comes, but they are not exist, rootless. These are the five wisdoms. So this is the core five wisdoms. When you do this, if you practice this, the thoughts or emotion naturally self-release, for they have no intrinsic realness. This thoughts, emotion, no essence. This practice is from the oral instruction for taking the five poison into the path. This practice should be understood and sustained. So we have to know this practice because this practice is instruction for taking the five poison into the path. So this practice is called oral instruction, means like very highest level pit instruction. So you cannot use any more higher than this method. Anger has so many different methods, release from our mind, but this is the highest level method. So highest level method, anger let anger self-destroy himself or herself. If anger is the me and himself, let him destroy. Anger is female and let herself destroy. Yeah, we don't have to use anything. When you do these thoughts or emotion naturally self-release, for they have no intrinsic awareness. This practice from the oral instruction for taking the five poison into the path. This practice should be understood and sustained. Okay, so we can finish it there today. This section is the hardest. You have to meditate more. If you understand this section, practice, we have become Buddha. Okay. So now we do the dedication, and then if you have questions, dedication, I'm going to share the screen show. Dorjen Chang, Telopa, Naropa, Marpa, Malarepa, Dharma Lord Gambopa, Pamotoba, and Lord Digompa. Please be stopping us most auspicious blessing of all the Kaju Lamas. By this virtue may I achieve omniscience, by defeating all enemies, confusion. May all who traverse on the ways of birth, old age, sickness, and death, cross the ocean of samsara. Bodhicitta, the excellent precious mind, where it is unborn may it arise, where it is born may it not decline, but ever increase higher and higher. I pray the Lama may have a good health. I pray the Lama may have a long life. I pray that your Dharma activities are far and wide. I pray that I may not be separate from you. As Manjushri, the Vero realized the ultimate state, and as did the Samadhabhata, I will follow in the path and fully dedicate all the merit for all sentient beings. By the blessing of the Buddha who attained the three kayas, by the blessing of the truth of the unchanging Dharma as such, by the blessing of indivisible Sangha order, may the merit I shall bear fruit. By this virtue, collected in the three times, by my seven all beings in samsara and nirvana, and by in the rule of virtue, may I and all sentient beings quickly attain unsurpassed perfect complete enlightenment. May the teachings of Guru Digompa Ranashiri, who is omniscient, Lord of Dharma, Master of interdependence, continue to increase through study, practice, contemplation, meditation, until the end of the samsara. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Thank you, everyone. So, do you have any questions first?
Thank you, Khenpo. Thank you, Sangha.
Hi. Here, any questions?
I have a question, Khenpo. La?
Yes, sir.
Ignore my question if things fail and move on to somebody else. My question is, please, thank you. My question is, you talk about us not rejecting these emotions or thoughts as they come up to recognize their groundlessness. And my question is, how is this different from Vipassana?
Vipassana.
Thank you.
That's I really don't know. What are the difference of Vipassana? So, because Vipassana has a different kind of meditators. So some maybe don't have this instruction, some Vipassana meditators. Some have these instructions, so then it's no difference. Some could be don't have this instruction. So then Vipassana meditators thoughts, emotion, just recognize, let go. Could be no investigating the emotions. Yeah. So this is like you investigating. It's you play with emotions. Yeah. When emotion comes, the Vipassana could be say, okay, you let go, you want to go, let go. This one, don't let go. The cut pieces of all the emotions. So emotions die.
So Vipassana involves, if you will, some action with the emotions, whereas this is no actions at all.
Can you say again?
It sounds like Vipassana, with its analysis, with its bits of analysis and examination, that is Vipassana And this is more just be aware and let them go.
Vipassana has two sections. That's we already shared in this book. Analytical part and rest in mind. So Vipassana method is, so here is more apply love and compassion in the practice when you meditate. Yeah.
Thank you. Very helpful. Thank you very much.
Rest in mind, and then thoughts, emotion comes, because of course you have to recognize, and of course Vipassana also recognize, same. And then Vipassana thoughts, emotions, release. Yeah, release. Just no invest, not what looking in the emotion. So release. In this one, emotion you arise, you really looking to that. No investigating. Investigating is kind of intellectual, like the subject and object. So this one is resting, but you really seeing, like awareness, seeing your awareness, seeing this emotion, like it's not exist. Its emotion is also itself is emptiness. So could be a little bit different. Also, we cannot say it's like different. It's dependent person, individual, how the the using the method. Yeah, if the person who has this Vipassana instruction and this completion instruction both you received, then this rest in mind is like become same. They can be used exactly just same. Teaching is different, but it's the rest in mind section and this completion section is the same, become for the meditator use the same thing. If someone who don't have this instruction, only the Vipassana instruction, then or there could be they don't use this, like in the emotion itself is emptiness, transform empty thought is transform dharmakaya. Could be they don't use that method, but of course they use like empty thoughts, emotions, liberate. Sure, that does that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Kempo? Kempo?
Yes, sir.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. When we're resting naturally and then a thought or emotion arises and we look, we recognize, should that be like just a gentle, effortless recognition, or is there more sort of direct looking, more like effort in looking?
I think both, could be both.
Okay.
Yeah, the individually, which kind of suit for and like dependent person. So some directly, some just gently, naturally.
Because quite often when you look at the thought, it disappears. Yeah. But then you have to look inside. You have to look for the essence, but then maybe it's gone.
Yeah, so that's we have to meditate, and then you have to own experience create.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you talk more and like it's always like the subject and the object. We're talking about object is emotion, subject is mind, investigating. So that doesn't really get like go into this teaching truly. And this awareness recognize emotions, seeing these emotions not exist. Awareness using, it's no subject object created there. So actually you have to practice, then you recognize, right?
Mhm.
So just when emotion thoughts comes, then try this one.
Mhm.
What happened?
Okay, I'll try and see.
It's
Tempola.
hard to show.
Tempola.
Thank you.
Yes, Laming.
When we see the emotion, sometimes like it's very stubborn, stay there and stay there. You say that even you say it's empty, it's still stay there and still you see that emotion was like flaring up anger or something. And it seems to me that it's not about how long you look at it. It's almost you have to go into the cause of it or go into the condition and cause of it. When you go in the condition and cause, when you understand something about the condition, then you know that it in essence, it really is not permanent. It's just conditioned to be, you have the emotion of anger, you have the emotion of all those kind. Of course, ignorance is more difficult to detect because when you are ignorant, you don't know you are ignorant. But more about anger is most easy to see, or greed is very easy to see. So it really not about how long you look at it, isn't it? It's more.
You have to stay in the natural state. That says stay in the natural state, right? When anger comes, stay in the natural state. The
Well,
anger is naturally released.
Well, but Campbell, like if you have anger, you won't stay in the natural state. That's true, isn't it? When you are angry, how can you stay in a natural state? You are predominated by the anger. So
Yes.
if you are in the natural state, you look at the anger and look at the cause and look at the condition, then suddenly the anger disappears.
Yeah, you're right. So we cannot do that. That's why we are in samsara.
And
That's
the
really,
other thing I
true.
want,
You're right. Just I can accept easily that, yeah. But some meditators can, because
Okay.
the anger comes like they just stay in the mind, nature, and then anger is just not exist there.
well, it doesn't exist when you're in a state of natural mind, but it doesn't mean your anger is dissolved. It doesn't mean it just didn't appear at that moment because your mind is in your natural mind, isn't it?
So that's actually destroying your anger.
You don't destroy your anger because next time the anger come, the anger still come. Isn't well, we practice
Not
all
only
the
one
time.
meditation destroying,
Yeah,
you have to use to that and practicing like become your like anger is when it arise like then no anymore anger is become always mirror like wisdom. Okay, so snow you don't have frozen ground, then all snow is dissolved to the ocean. So you are become ocean, then Hawkins is snow is create accumulate.
well, how about next big
No
snow day?
No more become frozen ground. So it's anger is come again. It's like same is like your frozen ground, and sometimes the sun heat, snow is melting, but it come back again.
Okay, so
So
you
snow
haven't
is
really.
melting due to
Okay.
weather conditions.
Okay.
You take it come back, but you first you have to create your ground is not frozen ground. You create your nature is create ocean.
Okay. Okay. Kempura, the other question is the 5 affected emotion. Is it the one is about doubt? Doubt is not affected emotion.
What is
Doubt.
doubt? Doubt is a part of the ignorance.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when I study somewhere, it says that the
You
fifth one is doubt.
that detail, and then we have 84,000 afflictive emotions.
So it's
So-
pride and jealousy. Okay.
Sure.
Thank you. Thank you, Kempula.
Good. Thank you. Okay, so now it's Dana. Oh, sorry, Mari, either one.
Oh, okay. This is Dana. I have a question for you, Kempola. I'm sure it's very easy to answer for me to understand. How do we liberate the thoughts and emotions once we recognize them as we are in our meditation practice? So I recognize my anger, but how do I actually liberate or dissolve?
Just you meditate, it's naturally dissolved, release.
Okay.
Long as you have a heat, and then you don't have to think, like if you put the fire, you don't have to think stir like how to create a hot water, you know.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
You put the make fire and the pot and put in the water in there, then you don't have to worry how to stir this water to create heat.
Yeah.
So long as you practice, then this emotions naturally release, dissolved.
Okay.
Yeah.
So think so much. Don't think about it. Just rest. Try to rest in.
Yes. When you're resting, then everything is calm.
Okay.
Mm.
Thank you.
Essence is this release, like log to emotion means like log into natural state. Like when your emotion arises, log to in natural state. In natural state, the emotions not exist.
Mhm.
Yeah. So you don't have to create a subject and the object.
Okay.
But otherwise, you get more distracted emotions. Then you more easy to like log and watch and control. You get more hard and difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Following the emotions or getting caught up in worrying about how to let go of the emotions that I recognize. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Lucy?
Yes, thank you, Kampola. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. It's like if you write about being able to reach the practitioner level, that means it is possible to reach it in one lifetime. But like a kind of confession, like I would say, if after 10 or 14 years of practicing, and then I have like a small glimpse, like seconds of a clear mind, how many more years will that take if after so many you get some seconds of this glimpse of clarity takes several lifetimes. I don't know if it's because of our Western way of life, no, but what is it that we have to do then to be able to reach another level in not such a long time?
Mm. So you mean that you realize like glimpse nature or and awareness or something, right?
Yes, like no thoughts maybe for some seconds that you feel like, okay, you reach like a space of clear and calm with no thoughts.
We have to maintaining that. Maintaining, long as you maintaining that, then thoughts, emotion is really can transformed.
That's like the hard
if
part.
we don't maintain that, then thoughts, emotions. Yeah, it's a hard part, but it's a simple one. The both. Very hard, difficulty, but very simple, easy to.
Okay.
So that's we have to maintain it. Long as you maintain that, then you can thoughts, emotion is transformed. If we don't maintain that awareness, then here says like we cannot. If long as you maintain that practice, then you can. When thoughts arise, like you right away into nature. When you recognize into the nature, when you anger arises,
Okay.
you follow the anger, you right away meditate into nature. Yeah.
Okay.
So when
Thank you,
anger
Khenpo-la.
you can count the absolute nature of mind itself is arising known through Buddha wisdoms. Okay? So that helps like go into nature states. Then that's is looking into the nature. So then anger is not exist in the nature state. Then that time is anger is rootless, groundless.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Khenpo-la.
Okay. So now Marie, right? Marie.
Yeah.
Mariette.
Harriet.
Mariette, your question.
Oh, I didn't have a question.
Oh, your hand raising.
I was just going to share something that I learned a few years ago, to always look at our emotions as good friends. They come to us as good friends.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Then Julie.
Thank you, Khenpo. You know, I got a question, and I think in some of the texts it says that our mind is like a continuum, right? A continuous, you know, from before to forever. But if it's continuum, why do we forget when we pass away? Why we forget our past life?
Forget.
Yeah, we forget our past life. I mean, why we when we die, we also forget about our present life, and we go to the next life.
Why? That's you know we have to. I have to debate with you. Why you forget? Okay, like in the when you are in the mother's womb, that is you or no?
I don't remember.
Why you forget? Yeah. When you was born, you have a birth. You have a birthday, right?
Yes.
Do you remember that?
I don't remember.
Okay, so that is you or no?
I think so because I'm here.
You know that why you create a birthday celebration, right?
Right.
Why you forget that? It's so important. That is very important in this life. Most important than any other than that. When we birth, you know, we celebrate, but actually we don't remember. No one remember.
Right.
Who remember? Let me know.
Maybe it's our subconscious. You know, we got some childhood memory, but you know, we got glimpses of that. You know, things just, you know.
Then that could be have a previous life too. Past life have too.
Yes. So I think all these practices is for us to let go of this attachment and whatever obscuration that we have. You know, but you know, to practice about emptiness, you know, about no self, you know, if we practice on this, then going forward, you know, I guess whatever that we practice in our mind to help other beings to practice bodhicitta will help. Hopefully will not, you know, make an imprint on our mind, I guess, right?
Yeah, there's all the practice helps, yes.
Thank you, Khenpo.
Thank you, Julie. So remember when you birth, okay?
I try to do it in my meditation.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Khenpo-la.
Thank you.
Thank you, Khenpo.
Thank you, Khenpo.
Sangha.
Thank you, Khenpo-la.
Thank you, Genla. Tojiche Genla.
Ujie che.
Thank